No, seriously. Okay.
James, are you on a mic? Do you think you're on a mic?
There we go.
I always pictured
that
James.
was the best thing. Are you on a mic? Do you think you're on a mic? I picture James with like the play school mic.
Yeah, we just give James a fake mic here.
I got a great big convoy riding through.
Every time James thinks he's on a mic, I always picture that he's in the kitchen washing dishes and chiming in from over there. That's what I see in my mind every time.
Hola, guys. I'm almost done with dishes. Start the podcast once I get the spot done.
I'll be right there.
You have bewitched me, body and soul, and I love you.
It'd be a privilege to have my heart broken by you.
I came here tonight because when you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible.
Some people are worth melting for.
Come on, Mr. Frodo. I can't carry it for you. But I can carry you.
John hates movies. Feelsbuary.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to John Hates Movies, the movie review podcast where my friends stop me from coming back from my semester abroad with a fancy new haircut and instead force me to watch movies. I'm your host, John Barrup, and this week we have with us Eric Largent.
Tally-ho.
We have Chris Arsenault.
Do I look stupid? I never thought of myself as stupid, but what? Maybe I am.
We have Colin McMillan.
It's because I'm handsome.
And we have James Barrup.
Did I put a glass in my pocket? Because my ass hurts.
I kind of really wanted to say Tally-ho, s'il vous plaît.
So this week we watched our last Feelsbuary movie, Sabrina.
Thank fuck it's over.
I'll miss it. I love Feelsbury.
Fuck you.
Apparently,
I know
Feelings and Eric do not get along.
No, I'm not really a huge fan of Feelings either, especially when we don't actually watch any movie with them in them.
John punched them. John punched them in face.
I think John just stepped on my joke. I was going to say Eric's ashamed of being in this movie.
Feelings make angry.
That's why he hates.
Sorry.
No, you're stepping on my joke.
Oh, damn. Sorry. We're all stepping on each other's jokes.
Yeah, so this week we watched Sabrina, the 1995 Oh, Is It Ever 90s?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sabrina.
Are you kidding?
Starring
It's full of current technology.
starring Harrison Ford, Julia Ormond, Greg Kinnear, directed by Sidney Pollack. And the synopsis is, when a romance between his brother and the chauffeur's daughter threatens to blow a business deal, an industrialist clears his slate to break them up.
In a series of completely predictable events.
Right. It's not entirely inaccurate description, but it does not really lend itself to the fact that it's supposed to be kind of a romantic movie.
Well, nothing that happened in this movie lent itself to it being a romantic movie either.
Yeah, it was really strange. And well, anyway, we can get into the details because that's what we're here for.
I'm here for the free chicken.
Again, is there chicken and nobody told me?
It's gone now.
Fuck!
I'll have to settle for this second place pizza.
Wait, whoa, pizza? Whoa.
Yes, thank you.
Pizza? Second place.
I think we're all winners when we got pizza.
Especially second place pizza.
Pizza.
That's some sloppy pizza.
Yes, sauce.
All right, so
I
think this week we're going to start with Chris.
Dun, dun, dun.
What? Why?
Because it was your movie, sir. Defend
every
yourself.
time I have a movie and I have to go first, I have to. I spend the rest of the podcast getting
explaining yourself.
Getting stabbed in the back, and not even given an opportunity to.
Well, dude, I wanted to watch Starship Troopers, so I don't know what the hell you were picking this.
I wanted to watch
crap
Fifth
for.
Element.
It's not.
Listen up, shithead. My knife is right in front of you. I'm not going to stab you in the back. I'm going to stab you in the face. So,
but this is my moneymaker. That's why I do podcasts.
Wait, shake your moneymaker for me, Chris.
All right, so Sabrina. So we have characters that are significantly far apart in ages. Even Sabrina to David. You're never really quite sure how old Sabrina is.
No.
And because when she leaves for Paris, you're like, okay, is she supposed to be 18?
Right.
Is she supposed to be early 20s?
Or even younger, 16, 17 perhaps.
You're not really sure.
She dresses
I was
like
thinking
a
like 18,
5-year-old when she lives.
Right,
when she lives above the garage.
exactly. And then she goes to Paris, and all this stuff happens, and you're not even sure if it's been a year or if it's been 3 weeks. They don't really show an appropriate passage of time. Then she comes back and she looks like she's 31, which is a little bit more on par with
Greg Kinnear's
Greg
kind of
Kinnear
style.
looking in his 40s and Harrison Ford looking in his 50s, which he actually was.
Yep.
But it's still, even at that point, the exaggeration of okay, is there at least a 20 to 38 year age difference, or is there a 10 to 15 age difference?
I think when the movie was filmed, Julia Ormond was 21.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Which she would have been.
I'm going to look it up.
If that's the case, she was actually 30 years younger than Harrison Ford.
Yeah, so basically you've got a couple of middle-aged men leering over a college girl for 2 hours.
Which is nothing new, but I mean...
No.
It was practically a documentary.
That's pretty normal.
That aside, I think the movie's trying to show that love finds love as love finds love, but the real message that it shows in this movie is that if you want happiness in your life, you have to sit around and wait for it. Apparently, you're writing in your journal, and one day it will come to you, or you will come home from your semester abroad, and the love of your life will, in fact, be his brother.
Redaction, Julia Ormond was 30 in this movie.
Okay, that's better. So that's probably actually more accurate to what the characters were supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because I think, she just
How in the fuck was a 30-year-old up in a tree staring at Greg Kinnear?
Well, she was probably...
Hello? Do you even know me? That's what I do on the weekends.
Poor Greg.
I've got a restraining order on me from Greg.
Luckily, the outer gates to his mansion, exactly 400 meters.
Yep. I've got a telephoto lens.
That's the other thing about, he's... Yeah, it's a mansion and it's a pretty swank palace, but living at home with your mom.
Yeah.
Hello, do you even know me?
I do love that his he's 30 something and his bedroom still has the telescope set up looking out the window. Yeah. That's outrageously awesome. I like this movie. I'm not saying it's a good movie. I'm also a huge fan of the original, which is probably just as bad, quite honestly, in the regards that it's this, that you have these huge age differences, and actually I think they're worse with Audrey Hepburn and
Humphrey Bogart.
Yeah. And not to mention, I would say that Humphrey Bogart is slightly less awkward than Harrison Ford is, but Harrison Ford is incredibly awkward this whole time trying to woo this girl 20 years younger, but at the same time he's pretty much that guy that never was that romantic, never really had much of a love life, and this is the first time he actually
plays differently.
Yeah, yes. So I've never seen that movie. Does Bogey play it as wooden and laconic as fucking Harry F did?
No, he played it kind of, well, like Bogey, like rough and to the point.
Okay.
Like,
Bogey played it like, bitch, you're gonna love me. And you know what? That bitch loved him.
But Harrison Ford played it like he didn't have any personality.
That's true.
Like a robot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's like, I am following Brother David's programming
that's
perfectly.
That's one of those weird things that I've realized watching Harrison Ford more and more often, like, especially recent films. Like, he doesn't have
He's been like phoning it in since the early 90s.
Obviously, his classic stuff, Star Wars and like Indiana Jones, I like those movies, but anything he's done since, like,
get off my plane.
I have to admit, I never saw that.
Me neither.
It was all right. It was all right. Mitch Macy was in it, so it can't be that bad.
I think he likes to have fun, and if he's not having fun, he's just not.
He lets everybody.
Yeah, he's kind of like Brad Pitt that way. It's like if it's not interesting, he just doesn't even want to be there.
Right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he's spoiled to the point where if he's not caring, he's not trying.
But I want to say that I feel that whole message that the world that your life will find you was in this one was not in the original. I don't remember that existing in the original.
Was all that corporate merger bullshit in the original? Yep. Was it really?
Yes.
Oh.
It was.
Ugh.
One of the biggest differences from the original to the remake on the original, when she thinks, everything's over and she's going to Paris and she poured her heart out to Linus and not David, she may kind of sort of try to commit suicide.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
Feel good movie.
Yeah. Which is a very interesting thing. But, which just adds to the whole she's young and naive and, which is why I love the line in this one where the father says, just know that you're more than this obsession.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a direct statement not to the Sabrina of Julie Ormond, but the Sabrina of Audrey Hepburn. So there are a lot of things wrong with this movie, technically speaking. The acting, honestly, looking back, is not as good as I recalled it being, and I think most of that's on Harrison Ford. Julie Ormond's not too bad.
No.
Greg Kinnear's fine.
Kinnear's pretty
Greg
spot
Kinnear's
on.
Greg Kinnear.
Yeah.
He's
great in this.
He does his thing.
Yeah.
He does his thing.
And Paul
Nobody
Giamatti,
weasels
Paul
like Greg
Giamatti's.
Yep.
And,
Surprise Paul Giamatti.
Out of nowhere.
Yep. I'm not sure I can necessarily defend the movie as a movie, but I still enjoy it. The overall story, that it's not so much, it's not like, it endears me because I have hope that I will find love. No, I more find it that you have all these characters, that the naive girl, the guy who refuses to grow up, and then this guy who was kind of never given the opportunity to actually be a young man, just was forced into running the company and pretty much giving up a personal life. If anything else, I love it for how the character changes for Linus. That, he's given an opportunity to really live. That's the only part I'm going to defend. Even if it's horribly inappropriate based on age.
Did you identify with any of the characters in this movie, Chris?
If I was going to identify with any character,
because I know which one I would. It's the driver. That would be a great job to be the driver.
Yeah, I would. I wouldn't read.
You take an easy job and you just sit around and read. That's
a good job.
What I want to do with my life.
Especially if you get that apart.
That is what I want to do with my life. Yes, it is.
Well, I mean,
I have a chauffeur's license.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, the driver didn't have a bad life.
No.
Plus, like a little over $2 million in the bank. So
right.
Yeah. See, I'd be whipping out my 3DS, and that would be me.
To each his own.
Chris, was there any
on Xbox Live getting called a faggot?
With your 3DS?
Well, no, I'd say when I get home to the apartment,
Well, it'll be the future, so you probably have
time to find out who fucked my mom.
Who knows? Xbox Live knows.
Jeez.
The Phantom knows who fucked your mom.
The Shadow.
The
Guys, come on.
Shadow, yes.
Hold on. The Shadow knows who fucked your mom.
Who knows what?
This is my mom, too,
figuratively. Everyone's mom.
He's making Xbox Live jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're about to ask me if I had feels,
Do you
right?
have any feels? Did you have any feels?
No. I mean,
okay.
Well, okay. Let me put it this way: when I was younger, and saw this movie, I'm sure I did. And like I said, I liked the movie for what happens for Linus. That he finally gets an opportunity. Like he was someone that was not unhappy in his life, but had no real happiness in his life, and manages to find it begrudgingly, and it's kind of thrust upon him by circumstances that he never expected. But it's like, I guess kind of happy accident sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I just like the idea of that, even when you resign yourself to a life that is not what you want it to be, that's not the end of it. That there's still that opportunity that,
it could
happen to you.
So instead of having a second place pizza, you could very well earn the coveted first place pizza.
Right. And not have to pay for it.
Which is also known as hot chicken.
Right, that's chicken, yeah.
So, Eric.
Yeah.
Sabrina, what'd you
Well,
think?
I've got some notes.
Son of a bitch, come prepared.
Spoiler alert, Colin, I was not impressed by this movie.
Dun.
Yeah. And the first note, it's just kind of like a general thought. I kind of wish Harrison Ford only existed inside of movies. Like, I kind of wish Harrison Ford wasn't a real person that lived in the real world. Because, like, I'm kind of serious, because anybody that's seen an interview with Harrison Ford knows that there's not a lot going on up there. Like he's really...
Nothing he wants to share, at least.
Yeah, he's an exceedingly private person.
He's really... No, he just seems really vacant.
Incredibly private person.
I'm sure, but he also seems really vacant. And, like, that there's just not a whole lot happening. Like, he knows how to read lines.
He doesn't want to do the famous person thing. That's his thing. It's like, didn't he win an Oscar and his acceptance speech was like, thank you, and if you want the long version, thank you very much, and then he just left? Like, he has no interest in participating in Hollywood culture whatsoever. At all.
Yeah.
Except when he shows up on Jimmy Kimmel.
Well, yeah, because he likes to hang out with famous people who will get high with him. That's what his thing is.
So, like, the reason I'm saying this is because I've seen him on a number of episodes of, like, Letterman, Jay Leno, on Jimmy Kimmel, on whatever, on Conan, and he says absolutely nothing. So why does he go on in the first place? Like, I guess, I know he's probably contractually obligated to promote the movies that he's doing, but I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah.
Of course, everyone is smoking in France. As soon as she lands in France, everybody has a cigarette.
90s.
Well, but
you're allowed to smoke in places.
Stereotypical France.
Yep.
The next one was holy shit, I don't remember acting in this movie, which James tried to step on that earlier. And as soon as I got to the house today, James and Chris were watching the movie, and Paul Giamatti was there, and I needed to remind both Chris and James, I look better than Paul Giamatti.
Yes,
I'm better looking than Paul
You're a lot
Giamatti.
better than Paul Giamatti.
So all you guys can go fuck yourselves.
Whoa.
Hey,
agree
dude,
with you.
it's your face on our mug.
That's
Not
true.
Paul Giamatti's.
Yeah.
His was
Because
the only
he
one
wouldn't
good
approve
enough.
it.
We asked. He said no. So we went with you.
You know what? Eric, you were our second place pizza.
Yeah. This is the guy who didn't turn down John Dies at the end.
Mug is just too much to
So the next note is regarding this vinyl photo shoot. I've heard such good things about the French Vogue. So much for that. Like, have you ever heard anybody talk about like we're getting the French version of Vogue, and it's like it's got the newest and greatest things in it?
No.
Like
No, I've
the
never
French
heard
Vogue
that at
is like a thing.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Like it's the style magazine, French
Okay.
Vogue,
High
and that's
fashion.
what she was working for.
Right.
Haute couture, James. Haute couture.
Oh, I see. Oh,
When it
shit.
got to those photo shoots,
I just got schooled
I
in
was
French.
seriously just like, man, fashion is fucking ridiculous. Like, fashion is the stupidest thing. There's no rules, and
It
there's
really
no,
is.
There's no
It's
rules,
awful.
and they just say, "Hey, you're gonna like this," and people just eat it up. And like those shitty translucent raincoats or whatever in that scene.
That was awful.
Yeah, and not far
Just
off
awful.
from shit that comes out of fashion shows.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I was actually kind of shocked that the models had shape.
Well, it's because they probably weren't models. They're probably actresses. SAG wouldn't allow you to just hire in a model.
I like the girl with the water fingers doing the robot.
Right.
I want water fingers.
That's cool.
Oh, there was some dancing in this movie, too.
That's what James thinks modeling is.
I do it at home. I get my water fingers.
So the next note is apparently at some point Linus was transacting some business and he was using some of his dynamic technology that he had back then.
Technology.
And it says, holy shit, Han Solo has a YARP phone. Like he was using some kind of pager or something that had a 3-foot-long antenna on it.
Yeah, he whips that out so casually. It's like, don't worry about
You
this.
can't make FaceTime calls
It's like
on that.
I can call your dad in Dimension X and use it as a pointer during presentations.
Right.
Hang on, let me call X the Perceiver. He who endures. I'll be right back.
It also works as a dowsing rod.
I mean, yeah, that's how they got all their great ideas about what stocks to buy. That's when he does his little speech about that's how I knew how to buy the Intel chip. That's how I knew how to get this and that. It's just because I do. Well, it's not because he do. It's because he had a YARP phone and he called the future in a different dimension.
Yeah, the funny thing is, his YARP phone is actually implanted in his head. That's just the external beacon he uses.
Well, yeah,
because it was in the 90s. He couldn't fit it all.
They
in his
give you
head.
the external beacon for comfort, you know.
Right.
You wouldn't want to fit that
Well,
thing in you.
because the thing goes in the back of your head, and that's where they have to put that unit, usually on the other side. So it's really hard to sleep with.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that.
So apparently,
Since
Linus,
the 90s, the YARP phone has improved.
apparently Linus had a subdermal implant. I had never seen this movie before, but the next thing I wrote is it hasn't happened yet, but this ugly duckling to swan thing is like painfully obvious.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know that was going to happen, but from everything that was talking about, obvious. Yeah. Heyo, a Manuel Noriega reference.
Nice.
It's the 90s!
Yeah, it's the 90s. We could
You
talk
can't tell
about.
by our
Dude,
haircuts.
somebody in this movie actually says it's the 90s. Like, they say the phrase, it's the 90s.
Yeah. Yeah. I just skipped over like an hour of the movie, and it's when Harrison Ford is taking Sabrina out on a date, or Linus, whatever the fuck I'm going to call him, Harrison Ford, is taking Sabrina out on the date, and they're at the Moroccan food restaurant, and there's a wonderful montage of them like her talking, him smiling, and like music playing, and you just like scroll past scenes, and that's like I kind of wish. Like, first off, I love the food and smiling montage past her going on and on about her experiences in France.
Right.
Because just sitting there listening to someone be like, oh yeah, and then I went to this place in France and it was so beautiful. Like, that needs to be fast forwarded over.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure Linus in real life wanted to fast forward past that scene.
And during that scene, you see Harrison Ford like take off his glasses and start cleaning them. Like, he's really finding something to distract him. Like, bitch, just get on with it. And puts them back on. Actually, he doesn't put them back on, which takes 10 years off of them.
So at times, Harrison Ford looked like Frankenstein in this movie. Like the way his face didn't move. He didn't have expressions. He had a strange haircut, and they mention it. And I don't know it.
The way he shied away from fire.
The way he drowned that little girl and made friends with that blind guy.
Sang and dance, putting on the Ritz.
So we're getting to the ending, and they're supposed to be hitting it off and kind of falling in love with each other. And at that point, I wrote, these people have absolutely no chemistry. Yep. They have absolutely nothing going between each other, except the script. Except the script reads that these people are supposed to be hitting it off, but those two, either actors or characters or however it went, those two people had absolutely no chemistry whatsoever. None. So the next note is, why are they kissing? Why on earth would, like, when they, like, take their slow steps toward each other in the office, like, why are they kissing?
We're standing close.
Neither of those people should care about each other.
No, we must kiss.
At all. I don't know. Like, the whole love angle between those two characters just did not work at all. And if this was supposed to be a love story, you would want the romantic leads to like each other. And I really never in this movie got the feeling that these people even liked each other. Ever.
Yeah, I feel like the most she liked him was when he said he was going to go to Paris and bring her along. And I think she was in love with Paris more than she was with him.
Absolutely. So anyway, at that point, they were together in the boardroom. They kiss. He goes, look, he divulges all the secrets to her. This is, this was a setup. I was just getting you away from my brother. I have money for you and an apartment. Go live in Paris. Get on a plane. Let's go. So then, the end of the movie happens and everybody realizes that Linus and Sabrina are meant to be. And so they tell Linus that he has to get on the plane and go meet Sabrina in Paris. And if he gets on the Concorde, it flies faster than her plane, so he can beat her there. So if I'm Sabrina and I get off the plane in Paris, I get into a cab, I take the cab to this apartment that this guy has bought for me, and I get out of it, and after all that's happened between the two of them in this entire movie, I get to the apartment, and I see him standing outside the apartment. If I were her, I would think he's there to kill me.
Yeah,
I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'm serious. At least to me, that's how that would play out. Like, oh shit, this guy just sent me out of the country, like paid me off, kept me away from his brother. He's about to make $1 billion.
She didn't take any of his money or his apartment. That's why the father knew the address and he didn't.
Okay. Well, okay. Then he just shows up.
That's even worse.
Then he just shows up at this apartment that he's not supposed to know about. I felt like in that scene, and they hit it off, and they're gonna love on each other for the rest of their time in Paris. Who knows? Whatever. If I were her,
quit trying to ruin their happy ending, Eric.
If I were her, I would have thought he was there to kill her.
Yeah.
I perceived absolutely no love between these characters whatsoever. None.
Well, if Harrison Ford had done more than just sit back and collect a paycheck for this whole movie, then maybe there would have been some chemistry there.
Maybe. Okay, so an obvious comparison that's going to happen anytime you have a movie that's remaking, if somebody in their great wisdom decides to remake Breakfast at Tiffany's, the inevitable comparison will be between whatever female lead is in that movie and what we have
Audrey Hepburn.
Right, what we have established as maybe one of the most beautiful humans that's ever existed, Audrey Hepburn. But
that, sir, is completely fucking accurate.
So, Julie Ormond did not. She's good. She looks very good in her evening gown at that party. She looked great.
Oh yeah,
but she's not Audrey Hepburn.
No.
But anyway, the very last thing that I'm going to say, and it's before Chris kind of ruined this, but I was really kind of hoping that the original of this movie was a good movie. I don't know, maybe it was. I
think it's a good movie.
Okay, well, we thought this was a good movie too.
I also said that I like this movie. I also said that I don't think it's that
That's true.
good a
You
movie.
did. You said you liked it, but you didn't think it was good. Okay.
I think I'd have to rewatch the original to actually give you a proper. But to be fair, sorry to interrupt you again, but I'd like to put this on the record that I found that there are a lot of movies that I quite enjoy that I wouldn't have acknowledged as bad movies until we started this fucking podcast.
We are in the business of ruin.
Okay, so Eric, were there any feels?
Absolutely
in this movie
not. This movie had such a dearth of feelings
that was excellent.
there was such a lack of feelings in this movie that I just absolutely could not.
I think we fucked up Feelsbuary.
We did such a great job with
Spooktober.
How the fuck did
Well,
we manage
barely
that?
on theme is sort of the John Hates Movies brand, you know?
Oh no, this was supposed to be a romance movie.
It was.
Just like Leprechaun was supposed to be a horror movie.
No, it was supposed to be a horror movie done
Horror
right.
comedy.
Horror comedy done right. My bad.
Yep.
I apologize.
Oh God.
Yeah, John, there were absolutely no feels. I've had better relationships with pizza than than these characters had in this movie.
That's not asking a lot.
Sabrina, like a 2-hour bus ride you watch on TV.
Boom. Correct.
Colin.
I will admit, I was charmed by Sabrina. I was drinking the Kool-Aid. I was buying it. That said, you guys aren't wrong. This movie would have been much better if you just swapped in Michael Keaton for Harrison Ford. It would have been so good if it was Michael Keaton, because I feel like the cast of this movie were all really going on board on this, like, kind of old Hollywood send-up. Like, the other character, she's a very old Hollywood kind of character, and they have that sort of old Hollywood glamour about them, and like, Greg Kinnear and she and the other family, the family of the fiancé and stuff, and, like, they all seem like they're sort of doing this tribute to old Hollywood. And Harrison Ford was just like, no, I'm not playing. I'm not doing that. I'm not... Yeah. He's just sort of like, the force be with you, kid, like the whole time. You know, like he's just sort of mumbling and being completely wooden. And I feel like if you had Keaton in there, Linus would have been a quirky and lovable character. Like, you know, he would have gotten the kind of awkward that's endearing down. You know, like Keaton was really good at that. I used to really like him, and I think he would have been excellent in this role instead of Harrison Ford. But Harrison Ford was coming off hot from his streak of being a heartthrob in various movies, and so they just sort of like shoved him in there, and you know, because he's handsome. This is not a new idea. As soon as you see the girl in the glasses in the beginning, you know what's going to happen. Movie, because it's happened in like a zillion movies and a zillion stories forever since the dawn of time. It's the Pygmalion thing where someone's like, hey, I bet I can make this, you know, dumpy girl into something really fancy. And the only thing
I think you mean My Fair Lady, Colin.
Which is based on Pygmalion. And like, yes, I do mean My Fair Lady.
There's no singing in Pygmalion.
That's true. So it's like...
So how can a movie
this
without
episode's going
singing
swimmingly
be the basis
Swimmingly sinking
of a movie with singing?
Let's pretend this is going really well. So, Pygmalion was made into a musical called My Fair Lady, starring Audrey Hepburn, who was also in Sabrina as Sabrina, and then, you know, so I'm sure that would have been better structured in my original thing. But all I'm saying is this is an old idea, and this movie doesn't have a lot of surprises. And I just started thinking about that, and I was like, man, you know, these people, over and over in movies, you see it. It's like, girl who is plain, has glasses. She takes off her glasses, and suddenly she's beautiful, and everyone notices her. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, wait, I have glasses. So I'm going to try something. I'm going to take off my glasses. And I want you guys to tell me if you notice anything different. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, I'm removing the glasses now.
Whoa!
Oh my god!
Oh,
dude, that's amazing!
Too sexy. Put him back on. Just
you guys, really?
Wow,
oh god,
dude.
you're so kind.
Colin,
do you want some second place pizza?
Oh,
you know, from the oven.
I think he deserves some first place pizza.
Why, Chris? That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
And it's the nicest
never
thing I
wear
ever
glasses again. But I'm sure you all respect me for my personality.
Oh, yeah, your heaving personality.
Well, yeah, that's
John. You've got to try this.
Yeah. I think I will. Just give me a second here. I'm going to try peeling off my beard to see if it has the same effect.
Whoa!
Okay.
Oh my goodness!
Holy shit!
John,
Dude.
I've never seen you like this before.
I mean, was that just Velcroed to your face?
John,
That's amazing.
Well, with
I feel like I'm
I
looking
have
at
to-
you for
have
the
to
first
ask,
time.
Are you and Millie's relationship doing well? Because I'm just saying, we could hang out.
Wow.
no, pretty well, guys.
This is totally awesome. All right, I'm gonna try to take out my ponytail and shake out my hair. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Oh no!
Wait,
All right, guys.
what am I looking at here?
I'll put the bag back on.
Thank you.
Pillowcase.
Woo, James.
Friendly pillowcase.
All right.
On top of
So,
With the smiley face.
as far as Sabrina goes, though, I did enjoy myself watching the movie, but I think that I just was sort of like, I mean, I had like a blanket over my legs. I was drinking chamomile tea and like eating crackers or something. Like I was all buckled in for a romantic movie by myself experience, and I was just like, oh, love. But even I knew that Harrison Ford was really stinking up the joint anyway.
That's what he likes to do anyway.
I had one. I had one question. This whole thing where like Sabrina's father is secretly rich.
Mm-hmm.
Why? What
do you mean?
Why is that? Like, why did they do that?
Because it was important. It was important to show that she had her own money, so that she wasn't after these guys because
her own someone else's money.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
yes,
She was independent because she had a different person's money.
You get a job at French
get it.
Vogue.
Well,
for
long
fuck's
story
sake.
short, she wasn't relying on his money or
Right.
anyone,
This is so when Linus goes to France and tries to pick her up again, and she says, "Yes, we know it's not because he's rich, because she has $2 million."
Right.
Okay. Well, that's maybe if they'd actually given the two of them a developed relationship, they wouldn't have had to put that in there.
They only had 2 hours.
2 hours and 15 minutes.
I think they were falling in love
Hey,
because
whoa,
of
whoa.
the sexy sax montage. They showed you they were falling in love because they needed to fall in love.
No.
Oh, they rode bikes, didn't you see?
Yep.
You see, everything in this movie happened to tell you that they're falling in love, except for them actually falling in love.
Correct. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Sorry, I can't keep it up. All right.
I learned to
He's
play
Sergio
that.
Mendes. He doesn't have to follow the rules. The rules are different for him.
I learned to play that on a saxophone just so I could do that. Yeah. John's going to ask me where I got the feels. And I will say there was one thing in this movie that kind of did give me some feels.
Bullshit.
Believe it or not.
Bullshit.
Believe it or not.
Hey,
Bullshit.
hey,
No.
bullshit.
Let him
No.
speak.
Yeah.
I think Eric's
That's
forehead broke because he rolled his eyes too hard.
That's a hell of a thing for you to say to me.
And to me, because I interrupt
Yes.
people the least.
Yes.
No,
That's why it's funny.
that was like the triple.
I don't know,
combo.
Eric. I think I get that.
Yeah, John,
Yeah.
you know what? You probably do.
John and myself are silent for long
Half of the
stretches.
time, I'm not even on my own podcast.
What did make my little heart leap, though, and Eric, it is sort of bullshit because it's actually not at all dependent on any of the content of this movie.
Fucking
it's
right.
it's just Julia Ormond's smile. She just has the most gorgeous smile.
Yeah, she's got that Julie Roberts smile where she's got like way more teeth than everyone else. No, like in a good way.
Yeah,
That's what Devin said.
funny,
She,
it's
she,
funny, like-
that she reminded him of
Like a shark.
the poor man's Julia Roberts.
Poor man's more like Julia Roberts is the poor man's Julia Armand.
Or like Anne Hathaway has the same thing.
Yeah.
Which
and I think,
Julia are you?
Which is funny. I don't think that Julia Roberts is that attractive. I've never been into her, but I think Anne Hathaway.
What about Anne
and
Hathaway?
I do think Anne Hathaway is very attractive.
Yes.
And
I think Anne Hathaway is the closest thing that we have to an Audrey Hepburn again, actually, now that I think about it.
she's certainly come into her own as an actress, in my opinion. Anyway, and she's pretty classy. I like her a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
But like Julia was doing it for me in this movie, and like every time, like there's the one big close up on her, and she just broke out that smile, and I was like, oh my heart. But none of the
snuggled up in his blanket and
I
drank
know,
a sip of tea.
and sighed softly to myself and wept. Yes, I don't think it was crackers. I don't remember what I was eating. I couldn't remember. The movie wiped my memory of whatever I was eating, so I guess I enjoyed
It's a second
it.
place pizza. It'll wipe your memory.
It's probably Moroccan food.
Oh yeah, I was just like
With his
really
fingers.
getting in there with my hands. I mean, just going to town.
Trying to eat rice with your fingers. Yeah.
It's better that way. It's really better that way, if you don't mind.
Yeah, Sabrina is sort of like a popcorn romance. There's not really a lot to it, but it is fun to look at.
Yeah, you're supposed to get done with the movie, and then we be at the very end. You're like, oh, they got together.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
forget everything else.
That is what you are supposed to do.
Yeah, that's
there
it.
is
And
no
forget
two ways
everything
about
else that
that.
happens.
So I think that's all I got.
So, James.
All right, first off, I want to say I don't know what any of you guys are talking about. I watched several episodes of this, and do I even need to do this joke? Do I even need to talk about Salem the Cat or any of that stuff?
Yay!
So what I was hoping that you would do is not only would you reference that, but you would actually reference Bewitched instead, and that you double errored, and you'd be like, none of you guys mentioned Paul Lynn or anything.
And why were there two Darrens? And why did she live in a bottle?
But and where? I mean, didn't they think that there would be problems with three of them, each of them having 3 kids of their own? I mean, come on.
And why did he have to pretend to be gay when the landlord came over?
Mr. Furley.
Oh boy.
Lush and
Come
hair.
and knock on our door.
Someone's waiting for you.
Everything is just hers and hers and... Really? No one?
No, I don't
know what
the
this
rest of
is.
it. No.
I know exactly what it is. I just mean I'm
Yeah.
Thank you. You guys were...
participate.
And Kirk Cameron and Alan Thicke. And
What? No.
Show me that smile again. This is going sitcoms apparently now. This is a sitcom podcast.
God, please no.
Guys, if you're expecting me to get any of these, I haven't
What the
seen
fuck
any of
did
it.
you watch when you were young?
He watched Trees.
Yeah.
We got the world.
Either sports or not TV.
Okay. Fair enough.
We gotta be.
Sorry.
You take the good, you take the bad, you take the...
This is all you had. The facts of
Yeah,
life.
the facts of life.
All right.
Oh, wait.
Wow.
But my favorite,
Oh, my
my
God.
favorite. I've been ready to mama, ready to open the door. No time. I've been ready to move
I've never understood your fascination with Mr. Belvedere.
I love it. I don't know
Fucking
why.
weird show.
It's so funny.
John finds Mr. Belvedere funnier than anything else I've ever heard ever.
I think the premise alone is just hilarious.
Like,
It's like,
this is not the first time this exact carbon copy conversation has occurred. Where he goes, and I go, man, why do you like Mr. Belvedere so much? And he goes, he loses his goddamn mind over Mr. Belvedere. I've never heard anything like it.
Okay.
a fired
Oh,
English
no.
butler lives with a middle-class American family. It's fantastic.
Hijinks ensue. Basically Downton Abbey.
God.
It gets me every time.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness. Okay. So
True. James.
yeah, so I just finished watching this movie. I can't remember any of it. No, no. Pretty much, I started watching it last night. Yeah, watching this movie. Okay, So the first hour of it I felt was pretty good, but the second hour of it just like drags.
Yeah.
It really fucking just kind of takes forever. But while I was watching the first half, like there were a lot of things I felt like the lines and everything they just copied and pasted like straight from the original, because like nobody talks like that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially her little speech where she thought she was giving it to the younger one, but was giving it to the older one. And yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Nobody, I just want to say nobody knows you better than I do, and blah blah blah, and don't come out because I won't get through this. Like nobody fucking speaks like that, She in real life, in like modern, if it was modern, it'd just be like, something like,
get out of the closet.
Yeah, or it'd be like, look, you don't have to come out, but like, God, I'm so nervous.
Because that's endearing.
Yeah, just it'd be a lot more natural.
It's probably the same thing that Colin was talking about, how this was like old Hollywood type shit.
Yeah, and like I said, it was really like, it was almost jarring when they let go of the new, like when they switched from new script to copied and pasted script from the old movie. Like it was almost jarring. Like you could tell when the switches happened.
When they put in the script that Harrison Ford should pull out his YARP phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait a minute, this isn't the 1950s no more.
Exactly. Yeah, totally. But I did find the relationship between Greg Kinnear and his brother actually pretty charming and funny.
Yeah.
I found, like, I really wanted to watch that more than Julia Ormond's stuff.
The real weak point of this movie is the relationship between the two main characters. Everything else about it is actually not that bad. Like, the stuff between the family is pretty good.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
It's a weak romance, but I thought the rest of it was actually quite charming.
Well, okay, I'll say a couple things that I thought when I was watching it. One, the glass joke. He's got the glasses in his back pocket.
Oh, jeez.
When he first did that, I was like, man, if that was me, I'd sit on those glasses. Like, I forget
That's exactly what I thought. I was like, it's a brave man that puts wine glasses in his back pocket.
Yep. And so like later on when he's like, having the argument and stuff, and then Harrison Ford's like, sit down. I'm like, okay, that's not how you do that joke. How you do it is this. Have him fight, have Harrison Ford say something that really pisses him off. He goes on like a mini tirade where like he makes really good valid points and like brings himself up like a notch or two on the respectability ladder, and then he sits down because he's so upset and smashes the glass.
Yeah.
Like it's an instant like,
well, they weren't going for the joke. He was just making sure he couldn't
joke.
go and meet up with Sabrina.
See, I thought you were going to say, have the mom get down on all four behind David.
That would be hilarious too.
Yeah, it wasn't
Sabrina,
a joke.
the
That was
slapstick version.
Right.
that was
Brought to you by
that was Harrison Ford being a dick.
Yeah.
I feel like you could have done all that, and I felt that it was kind of a joke, but I felt that you could have not only done a much better joke, but you could have made Harrison Ford not only a dick, but also a more conniving, better dick by setting the entire thing up. So, but that's just one small note, and I have 50 more. So no, but the other thing is that okay, when Sabrina goes away to Paris and stuff, yeah, I didn't notice that there was like no time. I thought it was just a year.
Well, it doesn't really say how long she's gone.
Yeah,
You have
not
no
at all.
idea. You just assume that there's been a large amount of time.
Because that was
she's been
exactly
gone a while, and then the redheads, we should get married. I'm like, as far as you know, like they've gone out like twice.
That line did make me laugh though, where he's just like, "Oh, then why haven't you?" And he's like, "Okay, let's get married." And she's like, "Okay," and he's like, "Really? Why?"
Yeah. What?
Like,
She wants to marry me. Doesn't that make you think there's something wrong with her mentally?
yeah. Like I said, the whole like every scene with Greg Kinnear and Harrison Ford interacting just between the two.
That actually speaks to the something that was in Annie Hall last week, where I don't want to be a part of any club that would have me.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, you did kind of have that kind of complex going, but so the thing that like I just assumed it was a year. I didn't even realize that they didn't tell you how much, but yeah. And they never showed really like Sabrina's growth or why she growed or anything that was like an influence to her.
All it
whatsoever.
implied was that you go to Paris and it happens. And
she might as well have wrapped herself in a fucking cocoon.
Yeah.
Because honestly, in movies like this, where like you've got like the ugly duckling that goes to the swan and stuff, they can be really good if you show that.
Yeah.
Like then it kind of gets into the kind of Karate Kid type thing. You have to show the training.
Yeah, we didn't see any of her becoming the swan. She just showed up as a
beauty
swan.
training.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's
Count
no
of Monte
karate,
Cristo is
chops
nothing without the fucking prisoner.
Yeah. Fucking right.
Yeah. So
I love that book. That's my favorite book ever.
you and Devin should make out then.
I love that book.
Who?
There we go. We're talking about Count of Monte Cristo. But anyway, so
Fucking delicious.
Yeah, imagine Count of Monte Cristo where he gets put in jail and then it's like 3 years later and they let him out of jail. That's like Sabrina.
Yeah. But
And
when
you
I
don't
was
see
in
any of the
jail, I
growth.
met a prisoner who trained me.
He doesn't even go into it. He just walks out as the Count. That's it.
He goes into prison as what's the guy's name?
Ed Dantes.
Jeff.
Yeah, Edmond Dantes.
Yeah, he goes in
and
as
he comes
Edmond.
out as the Count of
Well,
Monte
I was
Cristo.
thinking
no growth whatsoever.
Just cut away.
Right.
That's
Well,
that.
I think to make it
Later,
perfect,
You
I
served
am
your
the
time.
Count of
go
Monte
in as
Cristo.
Edmond, and then it would cut directly to him purchasing the castle.
Yep. Yes.
I brought you all this gold. I would like to buy your castle.
Yes.
Yep.
But yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So, because when he first runs into Sabrina and everything, and they do the whole meet cute, that was a really good meet cute. But it really did not have the gravitas of her understanding why she can actually do all this shit and impress this guy with it. Like, because she had hardly any wiles apart from being able to speak French.
Hi, Sabrina.
Well, I'm talking about Greg here.
Okay.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Hi, Sabrina.
That Hi Sabrina was actually very funny.
Hello.
Yeah, I actually really like that.
So, but like I said, you get about the middle of the movie and it fucking starts dragging, and you have the Moroccan scene where they're eating and stuff, and I swear to God, George Lucas must have watched Sabrina and like took his cues from that point on to how to write a love story, because it's the exact fucking thing as, Attack of the Clones. Like, Harrison Ford might as well have been like, I hate sand. It's rough and coarse, but not you. You're soft, And it gets everywhere.
You're nothing like Tatooine.
Yep. My ex-wife, Tatooine. Yeah, so I guess other than that, it could have been a much better movie. It made me want to watch the original. I'll probably watch the original now.
It's also on there.
Yeah, I would never would have watched it if it weren't for this podcast, and I'm actually kind of thankful of that, because if the original's like good, then much better than this one, then I'll probably really enjoy it. So I guess the final thing is, I kind of don't like the debate of when they have the Moroccan dinner scene of who choose first.
It was him. It was clearly him.
I'm done. So
James, was there anything
You
else
lost me.
I get the only line is the only line that gave me was, I was like, oh, that's kind of a sweet line, was, I need her and I don't need anything. That was a sweet line.
Yeah,
That's a sweet line.
that's a sweet line.
So I really don't have much to say about this movie.
None of us did.
Yeah.
It's cute. She's cute.
Yes.
Woody, I almost call him.
Harry F.
He's bad. Harry F is robotic.
Yeah.
In this. But I mean, as far as like romance movies goes, it's like just a little lower than middle of the road, and that's only because of the performances. I think if you watch the original with Humphrey Bogart, the performances are significantly better. Well, actually, it's a trade-off because I'd say Greg Kinnear makes the better younger brother.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the new one. But Humphrey Bogart does a much better
Linus.
Thank you. Humphrey Bogart does a much better Linus.
Forrest Gumped it and like cut them both together.
Yeah. So I mean, if you watch the original, it has heart and charm. It's just kind of middle of the road for romance, and much like our Feelsbuary episodes, it doesn't really deliver.
Whoa! Annie Hall was a good episode.
No. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Our episodes were very, very good. But the movies that we watched,
our choices
did not deliver. And we have.
Well, Marty kind of did.
Yeah, Marty delivered.
Completely.
Everybody liked Marty,
and we all kind of agreed that Annie Hall's a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
I don't think we agreed on that one at all.
That phone scene.
No,
Marty was the
Marty
only one
gave me
out
feels.
of all of these that actually made me feel. But I mean, I actually kind of thought that one of these movies that we would watch would make me tear up a little, just a little bit. And
that's the thing. I don't think you watch gonna get that with like a romance movie typically, unless you watch P.S. I Love You.
There's
then you're crying for all the other
romance.
Reasons. Because he dies.
Those are the best romances. So I really don't have much to say about Sabrina except it's, this one was okay. The older one was a little bit better. It has a little bit of heart and charm, but it's not going to really move you in that respect. So, we are going to be right back after these messages, and when we come back, we're not only going to play the game, but we're going to let you know what we have in store for March. We're going to be watching movies that are new.
You don't say.
What?
Did not see that
past millennium.
New-ish. As about new as we're able to get on our cheap-ass Netflix budget.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
John Hates Movies merchandise store. People from all over the earth gather round to check out the groovy deals. Would you like a Flarf Industries messenger bag? No, that shit is too expensive. John Hates Movies merchandise store. John Hates Movies merchandise store. John Hates Movies merchandise store. If you buy the Flarf messenger bag, people will know you are rich. John Hates Movies is a podcast where they talk about animals. Get a tally home mug, then you can drink shit. John Hates Movies merchandise store. John Hates Movies merchandise store. John Hates Movies merchandise store. There are many great animals on John Hates Movies. I like sharks. I ate a shark once. How's that for role reversal? John Hates Movies merchandise store. John Hates Movies merchandise store. John Hates Movies merchandise store. Rock over London, rock on Lansing, rock on Detroit, rock on Chicago. John Hates Movies merchandise store. Breakfast of Champions. John Hates Movies merchandise store.
Science, innovation, progress. Flarf Industries has always been committed to serving its customers. It is our pledge to provide the technology you need to approach life's most challenging questions. Does your lawn have too many calories? Are your dangles properly applicated? Are you getting enough flavor for your family? Through Dimension X technology, we at Vlarf are always with you. Just as the great X the Perceiver, he who shall endure, is always with us. Vlarf Industries. Always watching. Always.
Welcome back to John Hates Movies. As we mentioned before the little break there, we are doing next month, also themed. But this one we can't ruin, no matter how hard we try, because it's going to be Modern March, where we pick movies between 2005 and today that have been released on Netflix. So let's get to the listener suggestions. This time around, we only had one submittal, so it'll go into the pot. We're doing that thing where we pick from the pot or we pick our own. It's the second time around. It is the third time around where we will be forced to pick your listener suggestions. So if you've been holding off, submit them this week under the on the Facebook page, and we will be forced to go through your choices rather than our own. This week, for the listener suggestion, we have Tabby Walters re-suggesting horns. So maybe it's not too late to get some feels on. And with that...
Also modern.
Yeah, it's also modern.
It's got
also margarine.
Modern, man.
It's
wonderful.
modern. It happened within our time limit. Just like 13 going on 30. So, Chris, you have a game for us.
Yes. But much like last week, it means you guys have to think of stuff.
Damn it, I hate thinking.
Everyone has to come up with 2 individual things, and the theme on these will be love in retrospect of Feelsbuary and something modern. And these are very, very, very loose interpretations. You're welcome to ignore them completely because I don't give a flying fuck. But you have to come up with 2, and they would ideally be around John Hates movies or movies in general. And what you're working on is would you rathers. So, for example, would you rather sit on champagne flutes or spend a day date with Linus?
Champagne flutes.
Okay.
Oh, God, that's good.
James.
Yeah.
You were last to finish, so you get to start.
Oh, God. Okay.
So just read your love one first.
Okay. Would you rather have second place pizza with with Marty's mom or second place pizza with Lioness's mom?
Lioness's mom.
Lioness's mom.
Lioness's.
She's richer.
She was on The Sopranos.
Okay.
She was Tony Soprano's mom.
Well, there you go. Perpetually the mom.
Although they're both Italian, I bet they both make really good second place pizza.
Oh.
Right?
According to Xbox Live, it's
Okay, Colin, go ahead.
Would you rather have a friend date Alvy from Annie Hall and not listen to you tell her that he's awful, or get shot down every day by the fat girl that shot down Marty?
Oh, I'd rather get shot down by the fat girl.
Yeah, shot down.
Alvy.
What was the Alvy thing?
Have one of your
a
best
friend
friends
date
who won't
Alvy.
listen to you about how shitty Alvy is.
and
Date
not li-
Alvy.
Alvy.
Oh yeah, the friend thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that situation.
Yep.
Colin.
I have
She
a
had
male
many great
friend.
features.
I have a male friend dating somebody very much like a female Alvy.
Oh!
Awful.
Yep.
Oof.
Okay, John.
Would you rather spend the rest of your life with Stormy from Odd Thomas, like married to her?
Wait, dead or alive?
Both.
Yikes.
So
when she leaves the house, you still have the ghost her.
Or
Ghost threesome?
or
Living in the present.
introduce
Please,
Tara Reid from Sharknado to your mom.
Tara Reid.
Tara Reid.
My mom would love Tara Reid.
My mom's already met worse.
I'm still a little confused on the Stormy thing. Dead or alive?
Oh, you get like ghost stuff going on. Like,
basically, it means
stuff.
that if she's alive, but if she dies before you do, you still have to be with her because she's undead.
Oh.
I put her 6 feet under, and I can still hear her complain.
I still pick Stormy.
Yeah, I think I picked Stormy too.
Yep. Eric.
Would you rather everybody thought that you fucked a goat or you fucked a goat?
Damn it!
That's really fucking tough.
That is so hard.
I also love that that's under the love category.
Living with that fucking that fucking stigma the rest of your life is fucking awful. But to go with the obvious choice is to admit that you would fuck a goat.
Right.
Yeah, I'm pleading the fifth on this one.
No, there's no pleading the fifth.
Ah, crap!
We all have to come down.
Yeah,
I would have sex with the.
I would.
Now Eric gets to go on Facebook and go, dude, they all said they wanted to fuck goats. How fucked up is that? Dude, I was talking to them, just normal talking, and they all said, I would fuck a goat. That was their literal words.
I feel like it wouldn't come up all that often, so I feel I'd rather just have everyone know.
I mean, wait.
You build a bridge.
You know who built that bridge? A goat fucker.
No, there's an article in the USA Today that says Colin McMillan fucks goat.
Oh, okay.
What?
Like, everybody knows.
Well,
okay. No, I'm still, because I can deny it.
Okay.
I'd fuck the goat.
And no one would be the wiser except that fucking goat.
And it isn't really gay if I pretend that you're a goat.
Glory goat. Glory goat.
Chris.
Chris said I'd rather go with people knowing, but I didn't.
Chris, I admire you. Give me a fist bump.
Yeah.
All right.
Because we're looking at 4 very, very traumatized goats so far.
Well, I'm not fucking a goat. You guys can think whatever the fuck you want about me.
Hey, whoa.
But I'm not going to fuck a goat.
I'm just saying, if any of you decide to go to a petting zoo, I'm not going with you.
Oh, come on!
Like everyone would know.
You don't know that goat. This goat's got a lot of nice features.
Maybe he's got it coming. Maybe
Now,
he's
if it's like
dick.
3 a.m. and you're saying, like, I want to go visit a farm, no reason.
No reason.
Anybody know any good petting zoos? Asking for a friend.
Wow.
All right.
Oh,
crap.
Awesome. All right, Colin, hit me with your modern interpretation of modern.
Okay. Would you rather have to watch Anne Hathaway date your friend, but she wants to hang out with you all the time? Or would you rather have Hayden Christensen follow you around all day acting like he's force choking you?
I mean, the Hayden Christensen thing, that's way better.
Wait a minute. So she always wants to hang out with you.
Yeah. Like, she's dating your friend.
But doesn't want to do anything?
No.
Like, not even over the short
she's
stuff?
dating
No, she's dating your friend.
Maybe I'm apparently not that good friends with him.
She wants.
just saying.
No, she's not interested in you. She just thinks you're a really great guy, and she wants to tell you all about all the fights she's having with your friend.
No, Hayden.
Yeah, I'd go with Hayden.
I would also pick Hayden Christensen force choking me all day.
Because that would be weird.
This douche? Look at this dude.
People be like, why is he force choking? Oh, he's doing his, I don't know, he's dark side, whatever.
He thinks he's Vader.
Yeah, he thinks he's Vader.
Mr. Jibes.
Shit, there was another joke I forgot.
What's your second one?
Yeah.
I'm not asking you to do a stand-up here.
Hey, so I was slipping on a park bench and it must have been dirty. Anyway, no. Hey, my wife's real loud during sex. Last time I heard her, I was across the street.
Anyway, James, just tell us your second one.
Okay. All right. Would you rather do 30 seconds with toilet paper shit snorkel? Or be forced to eat Arby's for every meal for the rest of your life.
Arby's.
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 Shit.
Arby's.
It's every meal for
Yes.
the rest of your life.
That's easy. Arby's.
30-second shit snorkel.
Oh, Lord.
Big beef and cheddar.
I have,
motherfucker.
I have problems with Arby's.
Say every meal for the rest of your life?
Every meal.
Yes.
That'd be easy. That'd be so good.
Right?
I would do that, like, now.
Yeah, right.
Like, for
Yeah.
no reason.
I like Arby's, but
good
I mean,
news is
the
if-
rest of your fucking life for
yeah.
every meal.
The good
They-
news
they
is if
serve
you're eating it
salads.
for every meal, it's only 30 days or so and you'll be dead.
No, they serve salads. I've
John
had a
is saying
salad
that
there.
if he ate Arby's the rest of his life, he would become 30-second shit
I
snorkel.
would, yes, I would become
He would become toilet paper shit snorkel.
See, I have none of those problems, so
Yeah.
I'd be just fine with Arby's.
Yeah, I'd be cool with it.
All right.
All right, John, what's your second one?
Would you rather watch the new SpongeBob SquarePants movie 50 times in a row, or actually live through the first season of Alf?
Oh, like that, like Alf is your life?
Yeah.
Are you Elf?
No.
No, you're the guy.
not.
You're the guy that has
Elf
to
moved
deal
in
with
with
Alf's
you.
shit.
Yes. Alf has moved in with you.
Yeah,
How many
SpongeBob.
times did you have to watch SpongeBob?
50.
50.
It's like a 2-hour movie?
In a row. In a row.
In a
It's
row.
probably like
Do
85
I get, like,
minutes.
piss breaks?
No, you have to go where you sit.
Yeah, that's fine.
You
Alf.
get jars. You get jars.
Oh, I would pick SpongeBob.
Alf would be less boring.
Yeah, definitely think I'd do Alf.
Okay, guys. Would you rather fight 50 Yarp phone-sized sharks?
Oh, shit.
Or one shark-sized Yarp phone?
Sharks.
I'm going to sharks.
Sharks.
Just the 50 sharks. 50 small sharks.
I can't. You can't defeat a Yarp phone.
Yeah. It would just suck you into Dimension X.
You know what? I'd choose the Yarp phone because, honestly, I'd want that whole confrontation to be over as soon as possible.
Oh, it would be.
Yep.
You'd be done. It's a conduit to X the Perceiver.
I mean, 50 Yarp phone-sized sharks is basically like taking a dip in the fucking Amazon.
Yeah. Do I have to fight them in the water? Because on dry land...
No, they fly.
Yeah.
It's dry land.
Oh,
Okay.
they fly?
Yeah, I think...
They flap.
It's like-
they flop around.
Okay, they're like 50 yarp phone sized sharks in a a mini Sharknado.
Right, yes.
It's like a shark cyclone. Shark cyclone.
So it's really like
it's
being
like a
thrown
shark
into
devil.
a,
Shark
to
devil.
a blender.
It's a shark devil.
Is what it would be like. It'd be thrown into a blender.
Like a Bassomatic.
I think I'd go for that just because it would be much more entertaining. Okay, so I have the results. James with negative 1,500.
What?
Hold on. Colin with negative 25. John
That's
with
better than I thought I'd do.
950. And Eric with 1,475.
Is that a good thing?
Yes.
You won,
Did I
Eric.
win? Did I win?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
it
you
depends. Do you want to go by positive or absolute values? Because in that case, between you and James, technically James is a higher absolute value.
James was more bad than I was good.
Exactly.
Come on. Got an awesome movie choice.
But I have to go with Eric.
So, for Modern March, we're going to start Modern March off about as modern as possible.
Okay.
A movie that came out in 2014. And this is a shout out to my fucking boy, John DeFort. We're going to watch Snowpiercer.
Yay!
Oh, nice.
What?
That was gonna be, that was actually going to be my choice anyway.
Good. John DeFort, I know you like Chris. He's your boy. You know him in real life. Whatever. I know Chris in real life, too. It's not that special.
It's not that great, John DeFort.
John DeFort, you're my boy. We're going to watch your movie because I like your choice. I think you're a smart man, and I like it when you interact with us on Facebook.
And you look great.
That was Colin with that last note.
Doesn't make it untrue.
No,
but,
have you been working out? I mean, you know.
I feel like that speech could have used to slow your roll in there somewhere.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here on John Hates Movies. Next week, for our first episode of Thoroughly Modern March, we are going to be watching Snowpiercer.
All right.
Hooray!
Yep. So we will see you next week.
See you next time.
Bye.
You can listen to our podcast on iTunes, the Stitcher app, or directly on our website. Feel free to send us a movie review suggestion. You'll have an equal chance of getting chosen for next week's movie review. You can reach us through social media, either by liking our Facebook page, John Hates Movies, or following our Twitter at John Hates Movies. Our music was composed by Kevin MacLeod. You can find this track and many more on his website, incompetech.com. Thanks for listening, and tune in next week to hear someone say,
Amazing triumphs at a Nerf nursing home! That's great copy, Vic!